Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Ben Creech, and welcome to Daydreamers, a podcast about people's dreams and passions. Today, I am joined with DJ of Verse. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right, man. It's great to be here. Also, you kind of cut out a little bit, but I got what you said for the most part. It's great to be here. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Hopefully, I don't cut out that much, but good thing I'm recording on my side.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good.
Alright, so I just wanted to ask a few questions, like how did you come up with Verse?
Like the name?
Yeah, the name and the channel, like how did you guys come up
Well, I guess with the name, it was kind of just like we were all in a group. We were all like in my because Vitaverse originally started like in my room, which I'm in right now, and we were all huddled up. Just like I had like a list of names that we could do, and we were all just like trying to figure out okay which name would be best. And so we all just decided Vitaverse. There's no like I know a lot of other channels have like some meaning behind their name, whether it's just like something goofy or something symbolic or whatever. But like for us, it was just like this one's good. That was pretty much it. In terms of like how it came about and stuff, I know that as a kid, I've always wanted to like I've always like watched YouTube as a kid. Like I was about to say my other name. I always watched like Niga Higa, Smosh, Shane Dawson when I was a kid, like all those different guys, and I liked the idea of like just them having fun, being creative, and I wanted to do that in some way. And But I never did it for the longest time. But then eventually, I did an internship at this ad agency, and the thing that I got about from that internship was like wanting to actually have the motivation to start doing a YouTube channel. The internship was cool, but I didn't really like, gain anything too much from that, except for the motivation to want to do YouTube. So I finally started doing that. It was like 2017 was when we started, um, and so I wanted to do gaming because I also like the Game Grumps and other gaming channels like Oni Plays and all those other guys, and so I guess Videoverse is inspired from those guys too. And then yeah, pretty much just asked a couple of my friends who I vibe with best the most if they want to join, and they were like, yeah, sure. And yeah, pretty much Videoverse is just like a very how I see it is it's very just laid back channel, just friends hanging out, playing games, making stupid jokes, and having a good time. And yeah, and we also I did want to eventually like have other content because I know that not everybody's super into video games and stuff. Like everybody that follows me on my on my Instagram or other social media, they're not nearly as into video games as me and my friends is, which is fair. I get that. So we try to make other content that like helps spread out to make it more diverse and interesting. So we have these things called 30-second reviews, where whenever we finish a game on the show, we do a review of the game where we try to summarize the game, the gameplay, the story, a good thing about the game, a bad thing about the game, and your overall score out of 10 within 30 seconds or less. And if you can do it, you get a reward, and if you can't, you get a punishment. And so, and we do other things whenever we feel like it. Like we do these random vlogs that we call Vitaverse Adventures, just for fun, because why not? So whenever we feel like it, like we have one that's us at the Renaissance Fair, one that's just us just dicking around, and another one most recently it was like me and one of the other members of Vitaverse, and also some of our friends. We went to South Padre, so that was fun, and I made a video of that. That was cool. So yeah, we mainly we're a gaming channel, like basic Let's Plays, but we also try to mix some stuff on the side that's like a little bit diverse and different. So yeah.
So, with your content, you mentioned Game Grunts. I really do see that in the thumbnails.
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys
It's
have...
funny too because I remember when we first even like started uploading, like one of the guys commented like "cough cough Game Grumps, cough cough, shut up." But I mean, it kind of makes sense though because I've heard this from somebody, and I agree with this too. That like whenever you start doing something, you're always gonna kind of start imitating the person
Yeah.
that inspired you to do that. But then over time, you're gonna like have your own style, which I feel like is us too. Like at first, it was like pretty much just Game Grumps, but over time, we slowly started to be different with like the way that we do the videos. Because originally, it was just like basic Let's Plays, like how the videos were edited, where it would be like multiple episodes, like once a day. Because we used to upload once a day, and then it was twice a day, and then it was back to once a day, and now it's twice a week. And the reason it's twice a week is because we take that entire like recording session, like we'll record for like about an hour and 30 minutes on average. And so what I do is I take that an hour and 30-minute recording session and I'll like chop it up into the best moments from that recording session. So it's more like so that way it's more like a highlight reel of like our funniest moments or best moments from the game rather than just like an unedited us talking and stuff. Because a lot of episodes from doing the original style of like unedited us talking, like there's a lot of episodes where it's just not that interesting. So doing the way that we're doing now this way is to make it more interesting by me chopping out all the boring parts and only leaving the more funny parts.
Yeah, that makes sense. I definitely know when I'm making gaming videos that there's a lot of parts where you just kind of, you're playing the game so you get focused on the game or you're not saying much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk about 30-second reviews because I did watch the Spyro one.
Oh, really?
That was
Which
the first one.
There's 3 of them.
The first one, I think.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. God, that's the worst one.
Man, I have to watch them all, but how did you come up with that, kind of general idea?
Well, have you ever heard of Pro Jared? Before the whole controversy?
Yeah, well, I heard it because...
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he has this thing called 1 minute review, where he would review a game just like in general with like within a minute. And then there was also this other channel called have you ever heard of Hot Pepper Gaming?
Oh, no.
I'm gonna assume that was a no because you cut off.
Oh.
But, okay. But basically, what they do is they review games like normally, but they eat a hot pepper while they do it. So they're just burning, just like trying to finish this review as quickly as possible. And then I remember too, my mom was like, "Hey," because she was trying to promote my channel. My mom's awesome. She was the one who made our logo, actually. My mom, because she's an artist.
Nice.
Granted, unfortunately, it's not like her. Like she doesn't get paid to do it. It's not. She has to make a living off of it, unfortunately. But she's still trying. Anyway,
it's really good. Like,
yeah, it's awesome that she did that. And thankfully, I didn't have to pay her for it. That's the benefits of having a mom. But she like asked me like, hey, so are all your videos like 30 seconds long? Because like at the time we only had the channel trailer. It was like 30 seconds long, the original, the first one, which I hate. So I was like, what? No, that's terrible. If all our videos were 30 seconds long, they would have to be like very interesting and quick and fast paced. I was like, oh wait. They like gave me an idea like, oh wait, what if we like do reviews? So I basically combined all the ideas like, oh, what if we do like a very fast paced, quick reviews where it's like we have to try and review a game as quickly as possible within 30 seconds or less. There's all these categories, like we have to try and figure out the reward and punishment, the what's a good thing about the game, how can you summarize the game play, how can you summarize the story, how can you bring up a good thing that you like, a bad thing that you like, and your overall score within 30 seconds or less. So I came with that idea because I thought that would be really interesting. That's like, and those videos give us like the most views because they are the most interesting, and I spend the most time with those. But we also we're coming up with a new idea to make it a little bit more interesting because like a lot of 30-second reviews, a lot of the guys on the channel like finish them very quickly. Like they succeed, so they don't ever get the punishment, even though the audience member kind of wants to see them receive the punishment because that's more interesting. So we added a 6th category. We haven't done it yet. But we're going to add a 6th category where it's a question that pertains specifically to the game. So you have to be able to say a good thing about the game, bad thing about the game, summarize the story, summarize the gameplay, your overall score out of 10, and then the person giving you the review is going to ask you a question that pertains specifically to that game that you would only know if you played the game or watched the game. To make it more difficult.
Yeah, that'd be difficult for me because I'm very forgetful. So if someone asks something in the middle of the game, I'm like, crap, I don't know.
Yeah, man, I feel that because especially with Kingdom Hearts, I don't.
So
if they ask, so right now with right now-ish, like the latest Kingdom Hearts game that we played was Kingdom Hearts 2, and I'm the one playing that. This is my first time ever playing Kingdom Hearts 2. So eventually, when I have to do the Thursday review of it, hope to God they don't ask me a story question.
Oh yeah, definitely with Kingdom Hearts. That's like the hardest
yeah.
part to get so convoluted.
But yeah, that's pretty much how I came about 30-second reviews. Like a combination of my mom being like, "Are your videos 30 seconds long?" It's like, no. And Pro Jared's 1 minute review and Hot Pepper Gaming's just overall style.
All right, so what attracted to you, or attract? No, I'm trying to say, what made you feel like, gave you like a little like the passion to make content?
Well, I've always enjoyed being. Well, I guess it's just because of my personality, who I am as a person. Like I'm always just a goofy person and want to be just myself. And I've always told myself this whenever people ask me like, why is my major film and stuff like that? It's just like I I can't see myself doing something that isn't creative, like as a lifestyle, just because I just want to be my fun, goofy self. And like in middle school, I did theater, and then in high school I did film, and then in college currently I'm also doing film, and I just like that because I get to be my fun, creative self and come with ideas to like make stuff, like make the weird ideas in my head come to life, and also like, and with YouTube it's more it's less formal, and you get to even be more like yourself, and kind of it's easier to push stuff out there too, which is really cool. And I just like the freedom of it, I guess. I get to just be myself and make things that I like that.
So what do you say, honestly expressing yourself is one of the things that really attracted to you when in video
I guess,
making?
yeah. I guess, yeah. Well, I wouldn't say it like that because that sounds like I'm very philosophical and like deep, which I'm not at all. I'm very surface level for the most part. It's just I don't know. It's just fun to make stuff, regardless of whether it's film, animation, just anything creative wise. Like, I would love to learn more about like game design, animation, voice acting, all that stuff. It's just so interesting and fun to me to want to like to see that and do that. I just like that. I don't know, something about that appeals to me.
What was your experience like for the first time in editing a video, and like what softwares did you use at first?
The very first time I ever edited a video was in high school. It was in my film class. We had to make a video. It was called "Who Are You?" where we had to make a video about ourselves, and it was just and we the in the first class you edit in iMovie, and I haven't edited in that in a long time, Jesus. But God, my first edit was god awful. Like halfway through the video kept looping the same part over and over and over again. It was just atrocious. It was so bad. Every else's video for the most part was pretty good, but mine was just so bad. It kept looping the exact same part over and over again. I cringed so hard. But that was my very first time editing a video ever, and I just kept doing it, and then the next year we did Final Cut Pro because we only had like Apple computers, so we couldn't use like Adobe and stuff like that. And eventually, a couple years ago, I did get Adobe, and I just taught myself. Well, taught myself ish because the same thing for the most part, but there's some stuff that's different that you have to like look up. So I mean, I don't know. The very first time I edited, it was weird, but now it's just like, okay, I get it. And then if there's anything that I don't understand that I want to be able to know how to do, I just look it up on YouTube.
It's just the same for me. Well, I think the first thing that
Oh,
I
really?
did, yeah, was Windows Movie Maker, and then Sony
Oh, okay.
Vegas, and then in
Hmm.
high school we had the whole Macs, and so it was iMovie. Then it was Final
Yeah.
Cut Pro.
Yeah.
Man, wild times back then. Learning
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I don't know. I like editing. I do and I don't. Cause like for me, editing is like having to edit is like doing chores. It's like the idea of doing it is like, oh God, I don't want to. But then once I'm in it, it's like, okay, this is fine.
I
It's
see
kind
that.
of fun.
Yeah, like you're like, I don't want to edit this. This is gonna be like
Hmm.
hours of editing, and then once you
Right.
get into it, you're like, oh, nice.
Yeah, exactly.
This
And I
idea, this
love.
idea.
I don't know why, but I like look sometimes whenever I'm like editing a video for like I'm putting a lot of effort into editing a video. I like looking at the full timeline of the edit because I don't know, something about it just looks really cool to me. Like seeing all the pieces of what you did in the final product put together. I don't know. I like that.
It's very I say refreshing. I
Mm-hmm.
think, and when you realize how much work you put in, and then at the end of it, you just look at the timeline, you're just like, wow.
Yeah, because it's just like nobody because you see because when you're watching a video, it's like okay, you're seeing all the edits, but you're not seeing how it like looks within a timeline. I don't know.
Yeah, man. Editing
So
is
looking at a timeline really shows just like how much work you actually put into it.
how much productivity you put in it, and
Mm-hmm.
well, have you ever dabbled in After Effects?
No, actually, I've never. I don't even know what After Effects like looks like the software and stuff. I have no idea. I've never touched it. I want to learn because that would definitely open up a huge like what's the word like opportunity or not opportunity, but like a whole field of like different things I could do to make my videos more interesting and stuff. But I don't know. I just haven't done it. I should. I would love to, but I just haven't.
Well, if you ever do learn tracking and rotoscoping first,
Tracking and rotoscoping.
it's
Okay.
the most painful thing to do, but also it's very rewarding at the end.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. I see what you mean. 'Cause, I mean, I have done a little bit, but I've seen some stuff where I'm just like, God, that must have taken like weeks just to do that.
yeah.
Like, man, yeah, editing. God, now that I like I edit a lot. Whenever I watch somebody's video and see the edits, I'm just like, damn, that's insane.
So,
That
oh,
must have taken like a
do you
long
know
time.
Kodo Digital?
No, I don't.
Oh, damn. Oh, they do a lot of VFX. So if you want to check it
Uh-huh.
out, it's just wow.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll check it out.
let me bring it back. Dang, I had the question in my I'm not doing good at all today, but
That's fine.
okay. So let me bring it back. You talk about motivation. How do you approach motivation?
Hmm. It's a very good question. I don't know. Just do it. Because I don't know. Such a good question. I don't know. I just for me it's not anything deep. It's just like I really want to do it. Like there's just some things that I just straight up don't want to. It just depends. Like, do I need to do this or do I want to do this? That I guess that depends on my motivation. Because like if I need to do it, then like that's the thing that I'll spend the most time on and work on and stuff. But it's like more something I want to do. I can like relax it a little bit. I don't. I guess it just depends on the product. Like I guess for me, it's just like the product has to be something that I'm really passionate about and really want to make and put out there. And also just some days, just like some days, I just don't want to do anything. But I don't know. I guess for me, like I always, whenever I have like a free day or whatever, I always like make a list of things that I want to do because I like being productive. Like I always feel like shit whenever I'm just not doing anything. I mean, I have those days and I embrace those days because there's nothing wrong with like just chilling and relaxing because you should do that. But not doing anything, man, I could be productive. So I don't know. I guess it for me like staying motivated, or like having the motivation to want to do things, just comes down to like, do I actually want to do it? Do I enjoy it or whatever? So I guess that would be my answer. I don't know.
So how do you set up for the videos? Like, what is your setup? Your technology you use?
For Videoverse, we use one of the guys on the channel, Gavin. He just had like one of his friends gave him a game capture, the Roxio Game Capture HD Pro, which isn't the best, but it gets the job done. We use it like for the longest, so we use that one to record the game footage. We should eventually upgrade to the Elgato, but the Roxio Game Capture does what it needs to do, gets the job done. I have no problem with it. For mics, we have the Blue Yeti Snowball, which is what I'm using right now, and it's fine. I mean, we definitely should upgrade pretty soon, eventually. The other guy on my channel, Brandon, he's an audio engineer, and he talks about how we should invest in getting like XLR mics, which I agree with because I know those are really really good. So eventually we'll be using XLR mics, but right now we have the Blue Yeti Snowball, which I'm using right now. We use two different laptops when we're recording. One for like our commentary, and one for and the other for the game capture footage. Originally, that wasn't intentional. It was only like that because on my last laptop for the game capturing footage, for some reason, for the longest, it wouldn't let me use Audacity to record our commentary for some reason. And like for years, I didn't know why that was the case. But then I just figured out like, oh, the mic setting was turned off. Like I just recently figured it out like a couple months ago. So now I can just use this current laptop, my new laptop that I have right now, to record both the game footage and our audio. But I think I might keep using two laptops just so it's easier to manage, I guess. So there's not too much shit on one. And then we just have the game systems. Like I have a PS2, PS3, PS4, GameCube, Wii, Switch, Game Boy. I think that's it. A DS, 3DS. So yeah, that's pretty much our setup. Pretty basic, pretty simple, but eventually we'll upgrade.
Yeah, you talked about like the microphone was set it up on Audacity. Yeah, it's always those simple things. You're trying to figure it all out. Like, oh, it's gonna be a complicated problem, but it's always those simple.
There's always those simple things that just make you feel so stupid.
Yeah. So, what made you? Because I know you're talking about YouTube as being freedom. How did you get into YouTube, and what made you really choose it, other than like the freedom? Like, what got you into YouTube?
Like wanting to do it?
Yeah.
Oh, it was I brought this up earlier, but it was well, I've always wanted to do it as a kid. Like when I watched channels like Nigahiga, Smosh, Shane Dawson, all those guys from back then, like 2000, whatever. And but I never did it, or never really like wanted to actually put my foot out there and pursue it. Which honestly, I should have, because God, that would have helped. Would have made things a lot easier. Yeah. But I was never like, what's the word? I was never motivated to like want to actually like fully do it or whatever. But then I did this internship at this ad agency, and it was cool. It was great, but I don't know. I didn't really like gain anything from it, because I mean, they knew that we were going to be there, but they didn't really have us do anything because they were just so busy. And that pretty much for the most part, I was just watching a dude edit a bunch. And I remember one dude, he was just talking about YouTube and stuff. And I don't know why, but that conversation that we had, I don't remember what he said for the most part, but that conversation that we had just like motivated me to like really want to do it. And so that's when I started to do it. Because something that I've noticed is that like when I was younger in film class and stuff, we always have these ideas to want to do stuff. But then when it came time to like actually like try and do it, we'd never do it. We just like pretty much just talk out of our ass. So I want to like actually, whenever I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do a better job of doing that. So that's pretty much like what it was for me with doing YouTube, is that like I talk about wanting to do it so many times as a kid. Like in my head, I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. But then I just never do it. So now after that, I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to do it. And so now like that kind of inspired me to like, whenever I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. That's not always the case, but it's starting to happen more and more often where I'm like that.
Just enjoying some Dr. Pepper here. Go Texas. Anyway, we are self-sponsoring this episode. Go to shop.spreadshirt.com/ropetree productions for awesome merch. We got t-shirts with various designs. All profits during the COVID-19 pandemic will go to the Central Texas Food Bank. And if you don't want to support us, we got a neutral design called Fook, which is Vietnamese for lucky and blessings. That way you can still support a great cause while looking stylish and ready for anything that may come. Again, that is shop.spreadshirt.com/ropetree productions. Thank y'all. Now back to the episode. Oh, I completely understand that. Except mine was more with consistency, because I would do it, but then I won't really be consistent with it. So I'll upload consistently, like a one video per day, and then oops, 2 months went by. Oops.
Yeah, edit. What? it's hard to commit to something like that, one
Yeah.
video a day. Because I mean, for gameplay stuff, especially if you do Let's Play style, it works because it's just like it's very low effort in the sense to where like that's kind of the point of a Let's Play, for it to be more casual and stuff like that. But like, man, because I remember like when we first started, it was like once a day. It's just that kind of made me like hate editing because I always had to remind myself like I have to edit today. This has to go out like today or
Yeah.
tomorrow or the next day. Like I gotta do it. I gotta do it. And like it works, but it's just like kind of sucks. So like, and then eventually we went to 2 videos a day, and that was atrocious. I don't know why we thought to do. I don't know why. I mean, it helps in the sense of just like staying relevant, because I know that like with YouTube, especially nowadays, like you kind of have to like have a consistent upload schedule and be relevant and stuff. But now it's like we do twice a week, where we do 2 videos a week, and like I said earlier, where like I take that time to like spend more and just like editing the video more to make it more interesting to watch and listen to. Because like I said, like there are some episodes where it's just not a whole lot going on, both our commentary and gameplay wise. Like there's like I remember our Demon Souls playthrough with me and Brandon. Like there was just 4 episodes, like half the series, half the episodes, it was just us spent in the exact same area fighting the exact same boss. And it's just like that is not interesting at all. I mean, our commentary sometimes was kind of interesting, but for the most part, it was just not fun to watch. And like there are a lot of videos. Like there's our Final Fantasy 13 playthrough with me and Cole. It's like 86 episodes of like that original style. I'm like, that's a lot of episodes, and like a good chunk of those just aren't that interesting. And like, so if I had, I always think about that. Like if I had the new style with that series, because what I do is like each session that we do is its own episode. So I'm just gonna, I don't remember how many sessions we did of Final Fantasy 13, but like if we did that style, it would probably be like, if we did the new style, me like cutting it down into like the funniest bits, it'd probably be like 22 episodes versus 86 episodes, and it would be way more interesting to watch and listen to, and a lot of stuff would happen within that episode. And like a perfect example is me and Brandon's Dark Souls remastered playthrough. It works perfectly because Brandon, like, he loves the shit out of the Dark Souls series, and like he knows Dark Souls front to back. So it's like a very quick playthrough anyway. But if we did the original style, it'd probably be like 30 something episodes. But with our new style, it's only 6 episodes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, way better, way faster, way more interesting.
Definitely, when you're cutting out all the boring parts out, yeah.
For a fact.
I might have to steal that, by the
Stop.
way.
That's totally fine, man. I mean, it works. It works. I mean, you're trying to, especially if you're a small channel, you're trying to like do things to make yourself stand out and be more interesting. And like we've talked about this, because actually we're even considering about moving to Twitch, because we feel like Twitch would do better for more gameplay style channels and videos. Because there's just so many, especially nowadays, there's just so many like gameplay, let's play channels on YouTube that's hard to like, especially with the algorithm, it's hard for people to like want to find you when you're starting out, you know, like scratch.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe Twitch would, maybe focusing more on Twitch with gameplay stuff, but still uploading gameplay stuff to Videoverse would help. But yeah, it's just nowadays, like, I mean, we still grow a little bit, but it's just kind of hard to like really grow. That's why I said earlier that I felt it would be better if we started sooner, if I started doing YouTube sooner, because there was just a lot less people and gameplay. I feel like Let's Plays were a lot more popular in the early 2000s, like mid 2000s, I guess.
They definitely were. I mean, I remember, I'm not sure if you know this YouTuber, but SSOHPKC, he was really big back in the day, and wow, he would upload like 4 videos per day. It was insane.
Jesus, that's insane.
Yeah, he was fast.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess when you're dedicated.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like, man, like back then it would have worked out, but nowadays it's really difficult, especially for like, or even for any channel, it's really difficult when you're starting from zero. But especially for gaming channels, it's just like there's just so many, and there's already a bunch of big ones. That's hard to gain anything. So just trying to find ways to grow a channel, which actually I've discovered that Reddit seems to be like a really good way to help grow channels in general. Because I was actually listening to a podcast. Have you ever heard of Gus Johnson and Eddie Burback?
Oh yes, I did. I haven't listened
Yeah,
to the podcast yet, but I definitely watched the
I actually
videos.
was listening to their podcast before we started doing this, but
Oh, nice.
in one of the episodes, Gus he mentions how like when he was first starting up, like Reddit was a huge way of him growing his channel, like promoting his stuff. Because when you're uploading stuff on YouTube, it's hard for people to find that stuff, and so on Reddit with subreddits, it's like you're directly putting yourself out there in that community who is interested in that specific topic. So it really helps them like looking at your stuff. Like that was actually the reason why some of my videos in my second channel, Mushy Squshy, that was the reason my Hajime no Ippo video did so well, was because I promoted it on Reddit. Like if I didn't promote it on Reddit, it would hardly get any views, regardless of how good it is or how much work I put into it. Like it would hardly get anything because there's already so many Hajime no Ippo videos that have a lot more views than I have, or subscribers, that it would be hard to find it. So putting it on a platform where people are interested in that stuff like really helps. And I even did that with one of our Let's Plays, like me and Cole Spectro's playthrough. Spectro's a very like what's the word, obscure series, I guess, that a lot of people don't know about. So I put it on that subreddit and it got some followers and we gained some subscribers because of that, because of I promoted it on Reddit. So I've noticed that like using Reddit, well, God, I don't want to say using, that's horrible, that sounds so bad. But Reddit does help if you want to like promote your small channel and stuff. But you have to like have some guidelines, because there are some, because you can't just like blatantly self promote, which I understand that is bad. You have to follow some of their guidelines. Like certain subreddits have certain rules of how you can or cannot promote yourself, and so you have to make sure you follow those first. But yeah, Reddit definitely helps.
Well, that's good. I never knew really. I mean, Reddit, I don't know how to navigate. I have to learn how, but that's pretty good.
Oh yeah, I didn't know either. I actually like taught myself how to go through it this year, and yeah, it's cool. You just got to make sure that you're like also engaging with the different subreddits and communities, not just posting self-promoting stuff. But yeah, it works.
That's great. That's great. So in terms of games, what did you used to play like when you were younger?
When I was a kid, were you trying to say that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because you cut off. But I mean, no, you're fine. It's not your fault at all. As a kid, I played a lot of games, like especially JRPGs. Those are my most favorite games to play. Like I love the Final Fantasy series. I always played games like those. I played some Mega Man, just a bunch of like weird anime games, stuff like that. Because I think my first console that I had was a PlayStation 1, because I remember my mom, I don't remember, my mom told me that she bought the PlayStation 1 for my dad, and then my dad gave it to me. And so I would play games like Spyro and Mega Man X5, Final Fantasy, stuff like that. Eventually I got a Game Boy Advance for Christmas, I believe. Oh yeah, it was Christmas, I remember. And I got that, and I was so excited because I really wanted to play Pokemon like Leaf Green, because I remember I used to I used to go to a daycare, and like all the fifth and fourth graders had Pokemon, and like I would ask them to want to play, and they would never let me play. I was like,
aww.
And then eventually though, I went to this video store called Hollywood Video at the time. Oh, so cool. That place was so awesome. And eventually I did get Pokemon Leaf Green, and I loved the crap out of that game. I still remember the first time I bought that game and sat down in my room and played it. And I eventually got my level 100 Blastoise, and it was so great. It was so awesome. But yeah, I don't know. I play a bunch of games, specifically JRPGs. I like shooters, but I'm not too big on shooters. Like if someone's like, "Hey, you want to play shooters?" Like, okay, sure. Because I remember one of my friends back in like elementary school. Every time I go to his house, we'd always play like Call of Duty. I would be terrible at it, but it'd be fun to play. And he also introduced me to other games. Like he introduced me to the Spectrum series, and sometimes we'd play like Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3. That was a lot of fun. Best Dragon Ball game ever. And sometimes I'd come over with some of my games, and we'd play those and have a great time. And yeah, I like fighting games too. Like I love the Tekken series. Street Fighter, I'm not as big of a fan of it, but I like it too. Soul Calibur is cool too. But yeah, I just play a bunch of different games. I don't know, because I feel like whenever I bring up my gaming channel to people and they ask me what kind of games we play, I feel like the first thing they think of is Fortnite. Like me and my friends, we are not about that.
Oh man, I can't even touch Fortnite.
Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, to be honest though, if we did do Fortnite, our channel would be a lot bigger than it is now.
Oh yeah, that
Like that
definitely
is a
will. Yeah.
fact. But like, I don't know, I don't want that like, because I,
Yeah.
I know that there's a lot of things that I could do to like make my channel a lot bigger than it is now, but I don't want to do that because that's just so forced and fake, and then it's just
Yeah.
like, oh, we're just doing stuff because we know it's popular rather than because we like it, you know.
Yeah, I feel the same way too, because there's so much you can do that will bump up the views, get you subscribers, but it's like,
Yeah.
do I really want to do that? You
Yeah,
know?
because then like you have to force yourself to do it. It's not as fun.
Yeah. So is your main focus like because you talk about Niga Higa, and I was saying that's a lot of comedy skits. Do you like to do comedy skits too? Is that something that you really enjoy? Something you want to do more of?
Oh yeah, I would like to do more stuff like that. I don't know. It was just fun. It's more. It's not more. It's not like it was motivation in terms of like seeing people create, not specifically like what it is that they're creating, but seeing them just like having a good time, being creative and goofing around and stuff like that. But I mean, in general, I would like to do comedy skits because I enjoy comedy. It's funny. But I mean, I guess that's sort of what I do with my second channel. But I guess yeah, I would like to do more comedy skits. That would be cool. Like in the future, if like when we're bigger, we started doing comedy stuff. I'd totally be down for that.
So you're talking about how they had fun. Did you watch a lot of behind the scenes videos as like a motive?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, not a lot, but I watch some every now and then. It's, in general, I don't watch a lot of behind the scenes videos of a lot of stuff, but when I do, it's always very interesting to see like the process and all the hard work they have to put into it.
yeah. Talk about the Audioverse podcast.
Oh yeah, that kind of like came. That originally Audioverse came about. Well, we always had the idea to want to do a podcast, but we were never able to like actually get it going. But then what actually like started us doing it was for a class which we were in this. For people who don't know, me and Ben were in the same class of radio television film class, and our final project was doing like a podcast type thing. And so we were like, so that gave us like the actual motivation to actually, that would be a perfect opportunity for us to start doing this podcast thingy and actually get the ball rolling. So we did that. And then the other guy, Gavin, on my channel, he always wanted to like do a podcast because he thinks they're so cool and he listens to like a bunch of different podcasts and stuff. And so he wanted to get the ball rolling more. And so we did another podcast for Final Fantasy IX. And the main reason we did that one was because for our Final Fantasy IX playthrough, I accidentally deleted like the last couple sessions of that playthrough. I was like, fuck. So we came up with the idea to like, let's just do a podcast where we just talk about our experience and how much we love Final Fantasy IX. That's how that second episode came about. But we'll probably do more podcast episodes in the future. But that was kind of like how we got started with doing podcasts, was because of the class.
Well, that's how I started Daydreamers, because I wanted to do Daydreamers for the longest time, and then we had to do like the interview for the class, and I was like, that's what I want to do with Daydreamers. That motivated me to do it, pushed me to do it, and then
just the randomest things will actually push you want to do it, because like you'll have the idea to do it, but then like you won't do it, but then there'll just be something that like forces you, something that you just didn't even think about that like forces you to actually push yourself to want to do it.
Kind of like faith or something.
Pretty much, yeah.
So I want to ask, like, let's say someone wants to start a YouTube channel and they want to do these similar content. What advice would you give them?
Well, main advice I would give is just do it, because like there's been a couple of friends of mine that have talked about wanting to start a YouTube channel, but they're so just like, oh, I gotta worry about this equipment and my editing skills and all blah 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 blah, all these things. Just like, just do it. Like that's really the thing, is just you just gotta do it, and then no matter how bad it is, it's gonna be bad. Like your first video, I've always been told this, like from film class and just in general in life, is that the first thing you make is going to be bad, like regardless. But the best thing about it was the fact that you actually made it. And so now what you can do is you can look at that thing and be like, okay, you can look at it critically and like look like, okay, what is it bad? Why is it bad? Why is it good? What thing can I do to make it better? And things like that. So I would just say like the best thing you can do is just to do it like how you think you should do it, and then from there look at how you can improve and constantly work on yourself. And also in terms of like other things, like also think of like things that you can do to like make yourself stand out and be different, because like we mentioned earlier, like it's really hard to grow a channel, especially nowadays with like so many different channels that people want to be on YouTube and stuff like that. Like you gotta find out like, okay, what is it about my gaming channel that is different from other gaming channels? Like what do we provide that you can't get anywhere else? And also another thing is that like you should self-promote yourself, like obviously within restrictions. Self-promote yourself where it's okay to self-promote yourself, because self-promotion is necessary and does help, especially when you're starting from zero. But do it respectfully and within like an area where they're cool with it. Also, but yeah, just the main thing is just do it, and then from there see how you can improve.
Anything else you want to add?
Always brush your teeth.
Yeah. Do you have any other content that's coming up?
You know what? Here, let me also say this. For if you're starting a gaming channel, don't eat while you're talking.
Yeah.
Because we actually did that in some of our videos, and that sounds like trash. I hated it. It was terrible to listen to. Never do that. What were you saying?
Oh, I was saying any projects you're coming up with, or you have like planned.
Yeah, actually, for Videoverse, we're starting to. Gavin did a top 10 Final Fantasy video, like his top 10 Final Fantasy games, and I'm actually currently working on that myself, and that's probably going to come out within a week. And so we'll probably do more, because we're just trying to find some things we can do, like different things that we can make while this whole COVID situation is going on, because we can't come over to record for a while. So we're just trying to find some different things we can do that's like different and interesting. So there's that. Still have some videos. We have like I said, like I think 2 months worth of videos. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. Nothing else.
All right. Thank you for coming on to the podcast. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me. It was great. It was a pleasure talking to you.
And I'm sorry that if I can't come up with the questions today, I'm being really bad.
No, you're totally fine. You're totally fine. I mean, this was good. I had fun.
Awesome.
I'd probably fuck up if I was in your position.
Yeah, it's it's stressful because you're like, okay, what question should I ask this time? No.
Yeah, I get that.
Because it's easier to just listen to someone.
Right. Oh, 100%. especially in our gaming channels, like it's a lot easier to listen to somebody talk and you're playing the game than to talk yourself and play the game.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. And I'm thinking of making a little kind of relaxing, we're just kind of just chilling podcast. So if you up for it, you know, I would like you to come on if you want to. I'll let you know. Awesome. And so guys, check out Videoverse and check out Mushy Squshy. Those are the 2 channels he's on. You have any other channels?
Nope, just those 2. That would be stressful if I had more.
Yeah. So yeah, check those things out. I put all the description below on YouTube. So if you're listening on Spotify, it's going to be on YouTube. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a happy trails.
Bye.